So, this aunt took her brother's kid on vacation, all except one. Guess who got left behind? The favorite. Yeah, Reddit had a lot of feeling about this one. So, it's your favorite potato. Welcome back, and I'm ready to peel back another layer of family chaos from the depths of Am I the Butthole. So today's tale: a aunt, one bratty niece, three neglected siblings, and a brother who apparently left his spin somewhere in 2008. Buckle up, because this family definition of fairness is like parenting completely missing. So, grab your snack and your emotional support plant and let us dive in. Am I the butthole for leaving one of my brother's kids out of a trip but taking the rest? By EffYouJenny. Well, that's direct. So, trigger warning: alcoholism, child abandonment, neglect, emotional abuse and manipulation, favoritism, financial abuse, and controlling behavior. Yeah, it's it. So, long story short, I certify female and live and work abroad, but I'm from the Midwest. I grew up with my brother Jason, 43 male, and my parents 70s. We were working class, had what we need, but not well off by any means. When I was in high school, Jason married Tiffany, 40 female, who is and was always be a mess of a person. Heavy drinker, partier, God knows whatever else, but she was hot and my brother was a dweeb. So, just to put it nicely. They had Jace, 19 male, Jeff, 17 male, and Hannah, 12 female. Their marriage broke down before Hannah was born. They tried working it out, but ultimately got divorced. Jason started dating Jenny, 43 female, while splitting custody of the kids with Tiffany, 50-50. Since Tiffany had been a stay-at-home mom, she received child support and alimony, and my brother worked a lot. I liked Jenny at first. She was a complete smoke show like Tiff. I liked Jenny at first. She wasn't a complete smoke show like Tiff, but she was kind, had a good job, and was well educated. I thought much better much. At first, I knew Jenny was upset that the kids didn't immediately love her and call her mom when they were there, and the divorce was hard on them. Got pregnant somehow fast with Daisy, 10 female, and they got married. Around this time, the older kids started refusing to go back to Tiff's. She was always drinking and having guys around, so all three moved in full time with Jason and Jenny, and Tiff left town and is no longer in the kids' life. I try being understanding. I'm sure having a newborn then three older kids full time is difficult, but Jenny completely changed. She stopped working but declared she was only a stay-at-home mom for her kid. Jason was working 70 hours plus to make ends meet, and her parents were helping them out, but she controlled the finance. This means that the three of them, Jason, Jenny, and Daisy, operate as family unit, going to dinners, even vacation, and leaving the older three kids at home. I have always thought that this was disgusting and voiced my opinion about it, but Jason said his divorce broke him emotionally and he will do anything possible to keep Jenny happy so that their marriage work out. Gross, yes. And 10 years ago, to be frank, I was younger, broker, and dumber. So it was kind of more like, yes, my brother he sucks as a dad, but I live on another continent and all I can do is be supportive of the kids. I know now not a great attitude in retrospect, and I'm disappointed in myself. I really did my best. When they refused to pay for Jace to learn how to drive, even though Jenny refused to drive the kids anywhere, my mom saw him and I bought him a used car. We had to shame Jason to put him in insurance, and he made Jace pay for it. Same with Jeff. They share the car and use it for their activities and Hannah's. My wife, an only child, and we don't want children, have three of them as our solo beneficiary in our will. Sometimes we did when we found Something we did when we found that Jenny and Jason planned to leave them only the bare minimum amount. Everything goes to Daisy. Also, after we got married, my wife, 6 years ago, and I decided that we would start taking the older kids on an annual trip with us when we went to the US. Nothing fancy. We might be child free, but we're not billionaires or anything, just well off. But things like a week in Florida, Utah, California, things like that. They were very outdoorsy kids, so they had a blast every year. And we planned it when my brother take Jenny and Daisy on a trip, so they don't care. Normally we vacation in the summer, but Jace got an internship this summer, so we decided to move our trip to the fall and are going to Maine. I let Jason know that the dates, they're in line with their fall break and no worries. And he basically said we need to start including Daisy. Jenny's parents made some bad investment. They're fine but aren't helping them out anymore, and Jenny's looking for a job. But since her parents had always paid for their trip, they can't go on one this year. So even if it was fair, I wouldn't want to take Daisy on a trip. This is going to shock you with a parent like that, and I feel so bad saying this about a child, but Daisy is a huge brat, spoiled, mean, and consistently bragging about things she got that her siblings don't. She once told me that they weren't her siblings, they were Tiffany's kid. She threw toddler label tantrum on holidays if she didn't get as much and more as the other kids. Tell my wife and I were going to hell. Edit, I now feel bad for including this. She said it about 5 years ago a few times, and when Jenny was told, it was about the only time I've ever seen her discipline Daisy. I guess she heard it from Jenny's aunt, but it was hurtful and hard to forget with everything else. And since Jenny weighs on her hand and foot, she's a total slob. I feel bad saying all this. I hope when she grows up, she grows out of it. But there is no way I would want to take her on a vacation. So I told him I didn't think we'd be able to handle all 4 kids, and we'll just go the 5 of us. He said Jenny couldn't come to help out. Absolutely not. Or our mom could go. Love her, but she's getting a freaking hip replacement next month and doesn't want to go. Plus, we will probably need more than 2 cars for all of these people. And you know what? I don't want to. Anyways, sorry for the tantrum dumping on all you all. This is getting long. I was worried Jason would not let me take the other kids on this trip, but they decided to go on the route of shaming us online. Obviously, it's working with their friends and her family, but even my dad told me to stick to my gun. But my wife came to me the other day basically saying, are we even better than Jenny if we are favoriting some of the kids over another just because we don't like their mom? Before we were evening things out, but now we are obviously favoriting the oldest. She told me to think of the long-term health of my family and our relationship. She said that it's my family, my decision, but want me to think about it. My gut is saying just take the older 3, but Daisy's only 10, she's not to blame. Wouldn't it make me an evil aunt to leave her out? This story has an update, but I just got to say, Daisy's like this because of her parents. They have been feeding her favoritism since day 1. But it's not fair like for the other kids if she joins a trip. That's the only time they get treated like an actual equals instead of like the background character in Daisy's shows. I don't think they should take her. Anyways, update 1. Hey guys, I posted about a week ago and a lot of people asked for update, but things have gotten yucky. A quick thing, Daisy's not constantly some monster child. She can be a bird, but she's also funny and caring. She's the only grandchild who had stuck with the church choir that my mom runs, even though I don't think she loves it. Always call my wife and I on our birthday, and when their dog was too old to go upstairs, she brought her mattress downstairs and slept next to her every night before she passed away, so she wouldn't be lonely. People aren't cartoon villains or villains. And please stop attacking 10 years old. Yeah, that's not right, man. Sorry, I didn't reply to direct message. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't know if this account I don't know if that account people were messaging me was Jenny's, and honestly, I wouldn't change anything. And finally, just a reminder that I live half the world at 15-minute plane ride away. I can't just pop over there. There are time zone issues. I also do well for myself but don't have unlimited money. So stop telling me to take Daisy on a trial trip and buy a 4-bedroom house for the oldest three to live in, lol. And keep in mind, I live in a remote, mostly rural area, not bustling metropolises with vibrant expat communities and international schools. It is the nature of my job. I've worked hard for it, and it's not conducive for having kids, young adults living with me. I'm not a messy person, and I don't do social media drama, so I've been ignoring Jenny and Jason's little big booking campaign. And honestly, I wasn't even going to update until I got some background information. But basically, I got a call from my brother last weekend, and it was Daisy crying and telling me she would be good and she's sorry for being bad. She wants to go on this trip and promising she'll be quiet and not say anything rude. It was dark. She was saying she was going to find a way to show me and my wife and her parents she was good and not a bad person and everything would be okay. I tried calming her. I assured her that both her aunt loves her very much and don't think she's a bad person at all. My brother took the phone and was just like, "See what you have done?" and hung up. I tried calling back. He didn't answer. I texted my mom as well as Jace and Jeff to see what's going on. And of course, I wake up and there is a post about how cruel people can be to innocent children. Man, that got dark really fast. Anyways, between my mom and Jeff, I got some more background info. I don't know where all their money goes or what kind of baths her parents took, but her financial situation is bad. As in asking my fixed low-income parents for money for Daisy's tuition bad. Obviously, they couldn't help them, and I guess Jenny and my brother had told Daisy she was going to have to pick between vacation and her school, and she picked her school. But since it's taken Jenny longer than they expected to find a job, they can no longer swing that either. I know you all think she is a little demon, but my heart broke for her with that. And yes, I'm not getting into it. I'll rage for too long, but yes, the older three have always gone to public school. I don't think it was Jenny's parent paying the tuition though. And according to Jeff, Daisy is getting older and is having more of her own opinion, and Jenny doesn't like that. When she found out she couldn't go back to her school, she asked about a trip. And when my brother told Jenny I said no, she told Daisy she couldn't go because she was bad, heartbreaking, and just generally A+ parenting all around. Man, these parents just suck. Wow. I don't think this is the end of all this. Jeff needs to be more discreet, but told me Jenny was losing it because of Botox and Ozempic withdrawal. He said that the house wasn't as bad as you'd think. She mostly ignores them and has continued that he worked and Hannah has spent most of the summer at her best friend's house. Like, the father really sucks. He's failing all the kids. The mom, she's just a full a-hole. I don't even know what to say about her. Also, one quick thing, I know everyone is worried about my nephews and niece and think they're living horrible, miserable lives and this vacation is the only bright spot of the year. Yes, their lives are completely unfair and I feel awful for them, but they are happy kids. From what Jess has told me, since she had Daisy, they have always kind of just treated Jenny like eccentric roommate that their dweeb of a dad is sleeping with. They are not at all rude and screaming at one another, they're more polite and indifferent. They also do care a lot about Daisy and would never ask me to leave her at home. It's me that doesn't want her to bring her. But but because she needs a parent with her, and as Drill would say, I would face God and walk backward in hell before I ever invite, much less paid for Jenny to come with us. Update 3. Hi everyone, I don't know why I'm updating with this, but things have gotten pretty nuts. I wasn't even going to update until after the trip, which is still go with just the 5 of us and will stay that way, but it's just full on circus now. Unfortunately, my brother and Jenny have not changed one bit, and there has been a multiple instance since my last post alone that they have shown their preference to Daisy over the other 3. I have said before, I don't do social media drama or drama in general, but especially in public. So I had been ignoring Jenny's little vague booking campaign, but like I said, she had family and friends supporting her on it, except one cousin who messaged me a few days ago and asked for a call. I reminded her, and just reminding you all before you start asking me why I don't do short trip with Daisy, that I live very far away in a different time zone, so we set up a time to FaceTime. Honestly, I kind of remember this woman, but not really. She and Jenny weren't close, but she was at some pre-baby event, and it turned out Jenny and Jason has been lying to my family about their money issue. The shocker. Jenny's parents, she's an only child, had not gone broke. In fact, they're doing fine. They are one of the few older people who aren't sucked in Facebook, by the way. Lucky for her, while my mom is sharing slop with me on the daily, but I still love her. They cut Jenny off. She's simply been lying to everyone, including my parents, and saying that her parents wish that they could still help, but they can't. They told her months ago the money stream was over. Why now? So the story goes that a few years back, Jenny complained to my mom that she had a 16-year sentence with Tiffany's kid. Even the boys living at 18 wouldn't matter, since Hanan was only a few years older than Daisy's. My mom apparently said something along the line of, anyone would be lucky to have Hanan in the house. If she's affecting your marriage so much, she can live with us. It was kind of a snarky comment from mom, but apparently Jenny held onto it like a prayer. When my oldest nephew Jace graduated from high school last year, he was told he couldn't keep living there, and they already told my middle nephew Jeff the same. My God, what a horrible person. I don't even know why she got married to him, knowing that he already has 3 additional kids. People out say it once and twice. If you know someone have a kid and you know that you cannot stand that, don't get married to them, okay? Anyways, let's continue with the story. Jenny's parents very rarely see the older kids, since Jason and Jenny don't bring them when they visit, and her parents don't travel much and don't like coming to my hometown. So according to the cousin, they weren't fully aware of the issue and were under the assumption that the older 3 preferred spending time than my brother and his second wife and daughter visit them with my parents, which they respected. But apparently, Jenny basically had been yapping to them and let it slip out how in just over a year she would have her life back and her stepkids would also be out of the house. Her parents asked, what about Hanan? And she told them that my parents want to raise Hanan because they know how it is affecting her marriage. That didn't sit right with Jenny's mom. Call her Pam. So she called my mom after they left. They aren't close or anything, but do talk every now and again. My mom was confused by what she was saying. They were on a fixed income and have only a 2-bedroom place. Now, of course, if they needed to, the kids could stay with them, but not ideal. So, and remember this is months ago. Pam thought maybe she misheard, but my mom let it slip that Jess already stayed with them when he came back from school, and Pam was confused about why he wouldn't stay at my brother's. When my mom told her they kicked him out, Pam was like, oh wow, that's crazy, and the conversation ended to my mom. But apparently, this is all hearsay, and obviously. Pam called Jenny up and told her, "How dare you take our money at your age while telling a 18 years old they're adult and to figure it out." Preach, Pam? Okay. I don't know how the call went, but it ended with Pam and her husband completely cutting Jenny and Jenny off financially. Her cousin said they were sending them tens of thousands of dollars a year, and get this, they truly didn't know about the inequity. Oh wow, how did Jenny come from this family? Because Pam sound really amazing. She sounds like a good person. I don't believe the cousin at this, but how could they not know? She says that while her parents love her, Jenny's not close with them and had basically lied, saying that my parents, who again have never had a lot of money and are now on a fixed income, and I was spoiling the oldest three and ignoring Daisy, even before I was taking them on trip. She made up vacation they were on for why they couldn't go on trips with them. Jenny told them I was paying for them to attend private school that Daisy was attending. When Pam did some digging and found out Jess did not graduate from that private school, she cut off paying tuition for it. She was going to continue that. Apparently, she refused to take her daughter's call and is refusing to listen to family member defending Jenny. This family member supporting her, a few aunts and their kids, already have a beef with Pam over money and they are supporting Jenny. So I know she had talked to my mom, but I had to ask if Pam even know that half of all of it. I told the cousin a few things and she seems shocked and asked if Pam could call me. I told her definitely, and the next day she did. We spoke before obviously, but she's a pretty introverted woman, so I wasn't sure what to expect. But she seemed exhausted. She acknowledged that Jenny was the result of her parenting failure, but she said she was always a difficult child. I was like, girl, she's over 40. Childhood has been over and done. She laughed at that and apologized about everything I had to do for my oldest siblings. I assured her, what does she mean that she had to do for her nephews? And nieces, I guess. I assured her that I wanted to do things for them, but I appreciated the apology. She said she will be setting the record straight with her family members. Unfortunately for them, Jenny and Jason's little nuclear family lives they have been lapping for the last few years is over. Her parents will no longer be funding them. Jenny had gotten a job, but a decade out of workforce really screwed her over. I feel bad for Daisy, but hopefully things will have to be more equal over there. Obviously, this isn't over, and my parents are going to keep a close eye on everything and open communication with their kids, but I can't say I feel bad for Jenny and Jason. Relevant comments from Reddit. OP on the possibility of her nephew and niece going to no contact with their father, Jason, after they become 18. OP. Yep, I used to tell him you either raise your kids or you'll be raising your grandkids. And at this point, I'm pretty sure for homeboy it will be neither because there will be no contact. Period. Comment 1. If she treats them bad before, it will be way worse now. She will blame them for the money train stopping. Yeah, they have a point. She won't buy clothes, etc. for them or school needs. She even sounds like the kind of see you next Tuesday that would partially starve the kids. Like, you eat at school, that's all you need. OP. They know they can always reach out to me or my parents if anything gets like that. They are not afraid of her or anything. We'll make sure they are taken care of, but I can definitely see her spending one money they have on Daisy and making the other get hand-me-down or Walmart clothes. Comment 2. Even though Daisy is just a child, I struggle to empathize with her and her circumstance. On the other hand, I have a deep pity for the older children who are neglected and treated as they are worthless. I wish for special place and help for Jenny. your brother, and all those who have supported their action, as this situation is truly appalling and unsettling. It's even more unsettling to hear that nobody tried to advocate for these poor children. OP. I mean, I feel bad for Daisy. None of this is her fault, but she was getting the benefit and now those are gone. She's only 10. So, anyways, moral of the story, don't marry Jenny. Don't abandon your kids. And if your family is running on drama and a state of decency, maybe it's time for solo vacation. Yeah. Anyways, I'm rolling out of this story. So, smash that like button if you still will go on that trip, even if it means digging your brother's passive-aggressive Facebook post. And stay crispy, stay kind, and remember, potatoes don't judge, but radish sure does. Bye!